you doing?
Yeah.
Like Chris said, what a month. I don't know about you, but it just kind of feels like everything's going so fast at the minute. It is crazy to keep up with. It can be terrifying, but also exciting as well. I'm trying to look at it that way. But we'll go into a little bit of that later on. And I'm going to cover a couple bits about Webflow and then some other related bits as well. Yeah, so I'll just jump straight into it. Stuff we've got coming up and stuff that's been announced. Single page publishing. I mean, I think everyone has wanted this for a very long time. It's coming very soon, I think, and you'll be able to publish single pages and do it via the API as well. I think it might be enterprise only though, which is quite sad. I think a few of the other things are also going to be enterprise only, but hopefully eventually it will come downstream.
So Jimmy, just to be clear on that one, the current pain is hitting publish publishes all your changes, whereas this is the ability to publish just one page, and separate to collections. So for some time now, collection items can be individually published without publishing draft. This is just for static pages.
Exactly that. So I mean, if you do need something like the most common use case is like a blog. If you need to publish individual blogs, we can already do that. But this is individual static pages, I believe. And yeah, if you've ever seen what enterprise looks like in a project, they have this whole fancy publishing setup with stages and stuff like that. And I believe it's just going to be an add-on to that, which is a bit frustrating, but I think that's the way they're going with everything at the minute. The same with this, which I also think is going to be enterprise only. But yeah, they've made a big song and dance about this new Webflow AEO thing. And essentially, I think it's like an add-on to Analyze, which is, they call it like a closed loop, where there's going to be agents inside of Webflow that are going to be able to like recommend, measure, and then act and deploy stuff that it notices within your site to improve its searchability inside of agents and AI bots and stuff like that. It's in private beta in a minute, and I think there was some crazy stats that they added to it, like one company saw a 70% increase in direct traffic or something like that. So maybe it's going to be quite effective. Again, I think that will be enterprise only though as well, but that's quite cool to see.
Definitely is enterprise.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. It makes sense, but yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a shame on one hand we won't get to test these things unless you're working at enterprise projects, but then at the same time it probably is overkill for a lot of people, so yeah. The other thing was next-gen CMS. So this was one you might not have noticed because it was kind of behind the scenes, but yeah, it's been rolled out to everyone now, I believe. That's the wrong image, I think. But yeah, next-gen CMS. It was enterprise for a while, but yeah, we've now got rid of a lot of the restrictions we had before when it came to collections. Like there was frustrating things about like nested lists, the amount of lists you could have on a page, those kind of things. But now you get 2x the amount of collections per page, so you can have up to 40 now. 5x nested collections and 10x more items per list. So you can have 10 nested lists and 100 items per nested list, which is a massive increase. The amount of time I have spent like hacking solutions together with nested lists, you would not believe, so that's massive. And then like multi-level nesting, and then much more performant apparently as well. So that's pretty cool.
Has anyone had a real-world use of that since it's rolled out? Not yet?
It's quite niche sometimes, like, unless you've got a big like search in a blog or something like that, but yeah, that could be super useful. And then we did get a bunch of smaller designer updates. They added a load more screens, so when you're like resizing the device, you can like click it to more modern devices like iPhone 17 and new MacBook sizes and stuff like that. Locale specific access, so people can only access certain locales. They're keeping up with the code editor as well, so you've got like better inline coding and autocomplete, which if you're using the Timothy Ricks extension, he was already adding, but they're adding that now to keep up with that, which is cool. Pretty cool that he's like pushing them to make these changes, I think. And yeah, a few other bits as well. You now get light and dark mode in the dashboard. And then, yeah, I couldn't not include this, as this was obviously a massive event, April 14th. But there was another outage, sadly. Who was affected by this?
Lots of hands.
Yeah. So apparently it was 96% of people, but basically everyone. And then they did release a blog post on like what happened and stuff like that. I'm not going to go through the details. You can go read it if you want. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame. I think it's unfortunate timing as well with it happening a couple months ago. If you search through Reddit and obviously Twitter and X and stuff like that, there's a lot of people complaining about it, talking about the reliability and stuff like that. I guess all we can do is wait and see. Wait and see if things do improve and it can become more reliable. But yeah, as a lot of people mentioned, they're losing business and stuff like that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it will be the last time in a while that this happens.
I guess if there's a positive, like our time zone was probably the least worst hit. Like it went down at sort of 5:30 UK time, and then by like 7 a.m. the next morning it was coming back up. But I'd imagine like in the States they would have been really hit hard.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely in different areas it would have been worse, but it is, yeah, it's slightly frustrating. And then on a kind of a tangent, but I couldn't not include something about this because it seems to have been the month or the couple months of obviously AI in general, but a lot of noise around Claude. I kind of mentioned it in the group chat the other week, but I don't know if anyone else is feeling this, but it kind of feels like now the rest of the world is discovering AI and Claude in general. Like a lot of my clients who aren't necessarily developers or even would have use for that kind of stuff are now sending me stuff that's AI generated and all that kind of stuff. So it feels like it's getting a lot more mainstream. The tool is just getting insanely useful. We got an improved MCP server. Still, I think that the only path really is just to kind of open up Webflow even more to the point where it's almost basically headless and you can connect through the MCP and stuff like that. So we're definitely heading in that direction. It's very useful at the minute for things like CMS, page settings and stuff like that. I'm using it a lot for. And then we also, I don't know if you guys heard about Claude Mythos, which was crazy. So apparently they've got an internal model now at Claude, which is so powerful. It's exposing like hundreds and hundreds of like vulnerabilities in like lots of massive software. So stuff that's like legacy is like 10, 15 years old, they're finding vulnerabilities. And it's that powerful that they decided basically not to release it and are releasing it to major providers of software around the world before they release it to the general public to avoid it being a massive issue. Whether or not it's kind of a bit of a marketing ploy and they're just using it to get more hype, we're yet to see, but yeah, crazy direction we're moving in. And then the next thing, which I'm going to go into a very quick little demo of, which is much more relevant, I think, for everyone here, is Claude Design. So obviously you must have heard of it, but yeah, they released Claude Design to do prototyping, slideshows, a little bit of development as well, because like you can then export it straight into Claude Code. But yeah, tanked Figma stock, which is interesting. We'll see whether it replaces Figma, but I'll just do a very, very quick demo of what it is right now, just so I can show you what I've used it for currently. Let me just go here. Cool. So, yeah, I mean, this is what I've done. I just did a very quick demonstration of what we would do maybe for like the London meetup and stuff like that. But it's a very similar layout to what you might have with something like Lovable and stuff like that. But it's got a few useful tweaks that I think could be very good. One thing to note as well, I couldn't find it for like a couple of days and I was like, what am I being excluded from this test or something like that? But it's not available on the desktop app yet. So you have to go use it in your browser if you can't find it. But it should be very easy to find then. All I did was upload this image, which is a design I've done a while ago, just in Figma, of like what a website could look like. And then it's taken that and gone with it and built something like this out. It's pretty cool. I mean, don't think it's stealing anyone's jobs yet because it is quite generic, but yeah, it's good. It's probably one of the best I've seen in terms of like design, responsiveness and stuff like that. And then you do get a couple of cool little tools which hopefully should be very helpful for like improving this type of thing in the future. So you get a comment feature and you can target certain elements and then just prompt just based on that. So I can just say like make this larger and hopefully all it will edit is that section. and improve it that way instead of just kind of like hoping that it finds the element you want and stuff like that. You also get a little draw button as well. I haven't really used that yet. I don't really understand how useful that would be in comparison to the comment bit. But yeah, it's cool to test. It also as well, I'm sure you could like prompt this in and see what you want to tweak, but you can have a little tweaks thing in here which gives you options to like change specific elements or like different parts of the site if you want to just kind of tweak little bits on your own. And then yeah, you've got different like font suggestions and stuff like that. A little bit buggy for me. And then I also asked it to make a more premium version, but I don't know. The taste is a bit off, so we'll see. One other very interesting thing I found was I wanted to look at what it looked like if you exported the code from that, see if it was even recognizable. So interestingly, it all came out in one HTML file, and I kind of dug into that to see what that would look like. And it started off quite classic at the top, with just, yeah, like typical stuff that you'd see. But then once it got down to the other sections, we have this kind of like JSON type situation. So it's obviously creating this type of JSON and then like rendering it on the front end. But even if you like open this file from your desktop, it still works. So I'm not quite sure how this is working, but this is massive. Like you see, I could basically go on forever on this. And one of them, I think it was the second one, was so large. If I tried to put this file into Claude, yeah, it's so big. If I tried to put this file into Claude, it was then like 600,000 tokens over the token limit. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure this will be much cleaner with, because there is a direct export to Claude code option. If you go share here, you've got a bunch of different ways to export this. And you can hand off straight to Claude code, so I'm sure that'll be a bit cleaner. But yeah, that's all I've seen so far. It's pretty cool. Definitely have a fiddle with it. I'm going to be using it a little bit more to see what I can do. Yeah, I thought I had to include that because it was just so relevant.
Jimmy, I heard someone say or ask the question:
Yeah.
Are designers cooked, or are designers now cooking?
We'll see. We'll see. I think it.
That's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we're yet to see, I guess. I think it's a good start, but people are still going to want to make their own little tweaks themselves, and a lot of people are going to be too proud to just one-shot stuff like that. So I think we're yet to see. It's like you've just seen then. It's not designing anything like awards worthy yet. It's not going to win any awards. It's not going to break any like boundaries, but it is getting better. So definitely like keep an eye. Cool. Yeah, that was it for the last month, and on to the presentations.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. Really appreciate it. Good round up.